Hey, hope you're having a great day. So let's talk about Fall TBR. I am excited. I feel like I have some good picks this year. Hopefully you'll try and get through them all. I'm much of a mood reader, so I kind of struggle sticking to a TBR, but these are the few I've been wanting to read for a while. First off is Six of Crows. Now, I have yet to read this series, but I hear nothing but good things. All I really know about it is that it is some part of a heist, and it's supposed to be really good. It's just a duology, and I know it's part of the Shadow and Bone world, and so I don't know, something about this just screams fall to me, and I'm hoping I can get through it. From like what I'm understanding, like this is, I'm not gonna say life changing, but I've heard really good things about it, so I have really, really high hopes for it for sure. Next is a Dawn of Ankh. So this is a trilogy. I honestly don't know a whole lot about it, but I keep seeing it brought up from certain other like booktubers that I find, and like not a whole lot of them suggest this book. And I don't know if just maybe it's a little more obsolete now, but it's been on my TBR for a while, and I finally picked up the first book, and I think it's going to be really good. So the main character, she pretty much offers to save her brother's life, and she's now healing because she's got healing abilities. A bunch of people with like the notorious Ankh's king, and I think she's like trying to escape with another prisoner, and there's just a lot going on that I think is just really intriguing, and I'm really hoping it's a good epic fantasy read. Like fall and winter time is like when I really try and dive into the deep heavy fantasies, because like that way, because like I don't want to be out in the sun because it's cold outside, you know, because there's no sun. So I'm really hoping this turns out to be pretty good. Next, we have Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. Lana Ferguson is one of my auto-buy authors, okay? I love her. I love her, okay? And so this one is, she pretty much goes to Scotland to try and kind of just relax and get her stuff together. She's trying to relax, and her dad has just passed away, so she's trying to go back into his heritage, so she ends up going to Scotland, and then of course she ends up meeting this other guy there, and of course who doesn't fall for a man in a kilt, okay? Like Outlander fans out there, like you know what I'm talking about, okay? So this I think is gonna be really, I love Lana Ferguson, but I think this is just gonna be a really good palate cleanser for me. I love romances, and this isn't like ever like something deep and heavy, and this is going to be more like lighthearted and charming and fun, which is what you need when I'm reading such high heavy romances. So really good hopes for this one. Let's see it. Next is Babel. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that I'm gonna get to this one, but it's been sitting on my shelf staring at me. I've been wanting to read it for what, 2 years now or whenever it came out. Like it's been on my list. I'm not exactly sure what it's all about. I know it's a well-written book. I know it's more dark academia vibes. I know the main character, I believe, is a male, and he has like several different types of languages, and I think it's been sitting there. I've been wanting to read it. I don't know. I'm hoping I get to it, but sometimes I know with R.F. Kuang, like you really have to dial in and like be mentally there to understand what's happening in this world. So we'll see how I'm feeling over the next few weeks, but I have really high hopes for this. I really enjoyed a couple of her other books, so I am hoping this is another 5-star read for me. Now this one has been sitting and staring at me, no joke, since my birthday. I got this for my birthday in April, and I still haven't read it yet. In my defense, the second book does come out, I believe, in October or November. It's sometime later this year. So that way, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to go, like, by the next book come out. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So this one is about, she's pretty much like she runs a tea house. She's kind of running in the dark world and like the underworld. I don't know that they know vampires are a thing, but somehow she gets tripped up into this vampire world, and now she's kind of like trying to pull off a heist, but things kind of go wrong. And so now she's wrapped in a world that she does not truly understand, and I think there's a lot of things that are going to be revealed, and I'm really, really excited that this is, again, it's been sitting on my shelf since April, and I've wanted to read it before then, but this is high hopes for this one. I believe it's a young adult, so high hopes, but I hope it's good. To break up some of the fantasy, I have decided to hopefully get my hands on and dig into the Sis series. I know this is a dystopian, young adult. They're training to pretty much be, I'm going to say murderers, but they kill people for, you know, no death, no war, no famine in this world. And I think it's one of those reads that's going to break up some of the fantasy, bring in some of the dystopian era vibes. I love Divergent, I love Hunger Games. And I think this is just going to be a really, really good twist. And so I'm excited to add this to the TBR pile. Again, I'm hoping to get to it, but I think this is definitely going to be one that I'm going to read. Her Soul to Take. Okay. I had to add in a little bit, some dark romance in here, some more palette cleansers for that deep, heavy fantasy romance. This has been one of the more popular books on BookTok. I have been like unsure, do I want to read this? Do I not want to read this? But I think it's time to put it down. It's fall. I'm ready for some demon smut, and I think this is gonna hit it nail on the head, right? Hit the hammer with the nail on the head. You know what I'm talking about. Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent. I am a Carissa Broadbent fan. I have enjoyed several of her books. So I just read her other book series, Daughter of No Worlds. That was a God tier series for me. I believe she wrote the Wings and Serpents of Night series, and that one I also enjoyed. So this one is a standalone series within the world of the Wings of Night series, right? Like, it's in the same world. I don't know that there's character crossovers, but I know the main character is pretty much a trained assassin. She's like born and raised by this like goddess, and like she knows only one thing. And she's supposed to go and kill another king, but then in come these vampire invaders. And so she is sent to go and kill these vampire invaders. Well, lo and behold, she probably ends up falling in love with the conqueror, and things happen. I have really high hopes for this. I think it's going to be a quick, fun read. I think it's going to be a lot of good world building. I really enjoy Carissa Broadbent's books, and I think it's going to be really fun. And again, adds into the fall fantasy vampire vibes. Cities of Smoke and Starlight. So this has been on literally like since I think it came out. I believe this is an indie published book, and from my understanding, it's like if the old Disney movies Anastasia and Treasure Planet had a baby, this is what it would be like. And I think it's more of like a steampunk vibe, like 1920s-ish, 30s vibe. Like, I think it's just, I don't know like the whole plot lines, but I think it's some type of heist and like not necessarily fantasy world building, but again, steampunk vibes. And I just think it's time. And for me, it's time. It's giving fall vibes. It's giving heist. It's giving let's get this shit done. Like, I don't know. It's giving good vibes. So I have really high hopes for it. Fingers crossed that it turns out to be good. Mate by Allie Hazelwood. Okay, so this doesn't come out until sometime in October. And I very much enjoyed Bride by Allie Hazelwood is another of those offers, like those auto-buy authors for me, okay? And I really, really enjoyed Bride. So this is the second in the series about Serena. No, Serena is like a human hybrid wolf type person, okay? She's got a lot of secrets, and in order to kind of save herself, she ends up marrying another alpha member of like a Northwest pack or something like that. And I guess things start to get revealed, and I'm really excited. I really enjoyed Bride. I think there's a lot of people who hated on Bride, and I think they just didn't understand some of the werewolf attributes that go along with it in some books. And if that's not your thing, that's fine. That's totally fine. But like, don't be hating on it. You know what I mean? Just because it's your cup of tea doesn't mean it's not anybody else's cup of tea. Okay? Said my piece. I'm just really excited about this. I usually don't read new releases right out the bat, but I'm really excited to read this one. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a good one too. A Soul to Keep. Now this is again another dark romance kind of flitted in there, help break up some of the other things, some palette cleansers. So be it. This has also been on my TBR for a while. So she is pretty much shunned by her village, whatever, for some reason or other. She's supposed to be odd, things like that. And in order, like every few years, like the village leaves out a human or somebody or companion, so the demons of the forest will take it and they leave them alone and no attack the village. Okay, so she is given up as the sacrifice to, he's some type of like demon Wendigo type vibe dude, and he's just looking for companionship, and of course she doesn't know that. She thinks she's gonna get killed. And so I think this is a bit of a love story of maybe a romance, things going in there. I'm not exactly sure what to expect from this book, but I have some high expectations. I hope it's really good. I think it's gonna be a good palette cleanser in between some of the heavier series, and I got good vibes for it. It's something is telling me like, this is the vibe, this is the fall, let's go for it, Last but not least is License to Bite. So this has been on my TBR for a little while, and I got it like on Kindle, one of those Kindle buy apps for like $1.99, and I was just like, it's been there, and just like, I just need to read it. Like, it just keeps looking at me on my Kindle. I need to read it. And so I think it's more of a funny spoof romance, and again, good palette cleanser vibes. So she pretty much goes on vacation and ends up getting turned by a vampire, because the vampire thought he was like his long lost true love that had died like years and years ago. Well, ends up she is not her whatsoever. And I think there is just kind of like silly banter banter, like grumpy sunshine mix, and I think it's just gonna be a like fun, silly, goofy time. Like again, it's good to just bring in some of the funnier vibes so it's not so heavy on those heavy fantasies or like heavy dystopians and things like that. So again, I think it's gonna be good how it comes around because it's gonna be fun. So it's gonna be goofy and it's just gonna be a good time, and I'm really excited for it. But that's my fall TBR. I hope you guys added a few more to your TBR. I do not regret giving you more to read, but you're welcome. All right, I'll see you in the next one.